Hello and welcome to the Fortnightly Frontier, Season 5, Episode 3, featuring Darjanator and myself. And I want to start again, because that was terrible. I don't do the openings anymore.
And I can do edit, yeah, but you know, we also forgot the sync clap, even though we were gonna do it. Okay, anyway, quickly.
Sync clap. Okay,
3,
so
2, 1.
Hello and welcome to the Fortnightly.
You want me to do it?
Please.
Hello and welcome to Fortnightly Frontier, a podcast where we occasionally talk about Star Citizen or not at all, because today's topic is Squadron 42, as you can see. I am your host, Darjanator, and over there is my co-host, as always, Myre.
Hi.
This podcast has really not started well, has it?
I think it started amazingly, personally. I mean, like, you'd have to find out on Twitch, of course, because people watching on YouTube have no idea what just happened, and it'll it'll remain like that forever, I suppose. So yes, welcome live on Twitch TV. Yes, it is. Welcome live on Twitch TV and also on YouTube on the Fortnightly Frontier video channel, yes,
and on
it's not live
then. And on Google Play Podcasts. And
is there anything it's not on? Does Spotify do podcasts?
That's a good question. I don't actually have access to Spotify, so I had no reason to look.
Yeah. So yes, I'm not so live on YouTube. But I mean, you must be alive to watch, but I mean, like, we're not like live. But anyway, yes. So Squadron 42. It's okay, Darjan.
No,
it's okay.
I don't even have any alcohol. This is water.
Oh man. So a lot has happened since the last Star Citizen, or even just our last Fortnightly Frontier podcast. Of course, last week we had the feature featuring Mr. John Rain, which was a really awesome one, actually.
Good one, yeah.
A really good one. You know, like a lot of insight into like everything he does, and also a more like a behind the scenes of what goes on in the conventions, as well as how excited are you for like his whole bespoke line? I don't think I'd be able to afford what he's claiming to want to pump out, but geez, like,
yeah, definitely not. Had I the means, I would probably get a desk.
Yeah, because it's fully licensed, isn't it?
Yeah, and fully made to look exactly like the furniture at Outposts. In Star Citizen.
Yeah.
And hopefully down the line there will be more manufacturers of Outposts and more manufacturers of furnishings for Outposts. So there will be even more, because right now everything's pretty much the same apart from paint job. Flat surface with rounded edges that go down.
I'd be careful what you say before CIG come and attack you. Like,
it's a very nice design, but it's the only style. You know, it would be nice in the future if we got something else.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I wonder if there's going to be someone who's going to do their entire room furnished in John Rain specials.
There will be somebody, because CIG have given him full reins over everything. And that wasn't a pun. I mean, like, this happens sometimes. Like, yes, CIG have given John Rain full reign over all their files to make whatever they want to license through him. So, like, if you wanted to have a full Ryari or Echo 11 bedroom, you know, like, you could, which is pretty awesome. But anyway, that was last week.
Thing is, you wouldn't really want to do it for your master bedroom, because I don't think your spouse would appreciate a bunk bed.
Fair enough.
Just saying. Unless you have that sort of special agreement. But in most cases, a king size would be preferable. Maybe that's something we should just suggest to CIG, you know? Maybe, like, where are the married couples at these outposts?
I don't know.
Sharing a bed, apparently.
NDA. Well, I mean, like he's made custom things before. I mean, like the streamer desk at Gamescom was like a doubled desk. So I mean, there's your bed. Mm.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just take the assets and modify them for the needs. But anyway, that was last week. If you wanna see how that went, go into the archive on YouTube or on SoundCloud. Well, it wouldn't really help you to go on SoundCloud because it's audio only. Just go to YouTube, watch last week's episode, Frontier Feature 13. And coincidentally, which was also the 100th episode of Fortnightly Frontier. And for that, we are doing a special giveaway. Just follow the link that I'm going to plaster all over Myre's face.
Is it gone yet? Okay, all right.
It's gone. Yes.
Okay.
And you get all information on how to participate there. The giveaway is going to last until the end of March, and after which we will be announcing the winner in the first show of April.
Yes. What are we giving away? You didn't even say what we're giving away. It's like
we're giving away one of these. That way. No? Yeah, there we go. A Tumbril Cyclone RN, which is the I keep forgetting what is the service
Ranger.
beacon. The Ranger.
Yeah, it's got like I don't know if service beacon is the word to use, but it's got that dish on the back, which you can use to like mark your locations, and maybe it'll work as a service beacon.
And it has LTI.
Yes, yeah.
Which is the most important thing.
Yeah, so even if you don't want it, you can be like, yes, I finally got myself one. Oh, it's an LTI token. I never mind. So yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But apart from that, what is the show about? Mr. Myre, this episode specifically.
So last week, CIG unveiled another Around the Verse video, and it was featuring, it was titled even, The Living Idris. And so that's what the show is about, basically. I mean, like, surprise.
I love me some Squadron 42 and some Living Idris, and you just
Where am I? Who am I? Oh, okay.
You're in last week's episode.
I meant to go here. Yeah, derp. Bit of time traveling there.
A bit of time travel, yes.
Yeah.
What are you, Cable? Does that make me Deadpool?
Maybe. But yeah, so last week's ATV was all about the Living Idris. So they gave us a whole lot more insight into the subsumption part of it. So it's all about the NPC crews, how they'll be working, and what kind of sets them apart from NPCs in video games all the way up to here. Because of course we have seen NPCs with schedules and stuff in all the way back in Fable and Peter Molyneux's games and such.
Yeah,
like
the Elder Scrolls series like Oblivion and Skyrim come to mind as well. But they didn't really do much interaction between the NPCs. It was more just them doing their own thing and then interacting with the player. Although that wasn't the scope. I read on Reddit that the scope of the Oblivion AI was much greater, but they had to nerf it because they couldn't rein it in.
Right.
And you had these thief class NPCs that would just go around town stealing everything and not being detected. and then when the player came around, there was nothing to buy.
There was nothing for the player to do. I mean, like, the player is bad enough.
So if CIG manages to expand to that sort of level, the AI interaction with the world and each other, but also rein it in, so, overly OP characters like that wreak havoc beyond their control, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, classically in games like that, NPCs, even if they did have timetables and schedules and such, it'd be limited to, okay, at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're waking up and you're getting out of bed, like in Skyrim or Oblivion. And then you're moving from one path to another. But during those movements and cycles and behaviors, you're not really doing anything in transit, and whatever you do doesn't affect any other NPC. You're just a piece of the puzzle that makes the painting or puzzle. You know, if we keep the analogy, you know, you're just a piece of the puzzle that makes it look more immersive. But in Star Citizen, what they've shown is that as the NPCs go to and from behaviors in their schedules, they'll be actively scanning ahead. And
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
like if something breaks in a mostly deserted part of the ship, but for some reason doesn't get picked up on any of the automated screens, like, you know, on the bridge or engineering, this is broken, go and fix it. If somebody walks by, they will notice it and they will report it. That's good, because those point of interest things really make it seem like the NPCs care about where they are. Yeah. It's not just a path from one location to the other.
Yeah. So like
which is the principle behind the Living Idris.
Yeah. So as they're walking, they're scanning and they're looking at not only and it also depends on their job. So only the engineers will really give a toss about looking specifically at components. Even though if a component is fried or smoking, then I guess another NPC would go, huh? Smoke? And then they'd
exactly. Yeah. But if it's just turned off, even though it's supposed to be turned on, a pilot or a marine may not notice that, but an engineer would. But if it's physically on fire, I think, you know, they would also make a provision for other classes of NPCs to take notice.
But what I liked most about it is the fact that when they're going about doing all these behaviors and such. So for instance, in the example used with the mechanic, if the mechanic is like, let's say, a junior grade mechanic, and they see something is wrong with a component, they don't just go, oh, component, and like the way an NPC goes, oh, bad guy or enemy, and start shooting. They go, oh, a component. They look down at the whatever's happening to it. Then they'll assess it. Then they'll call their superior, who then comes and he has to answer the call and break whatever behavior they're doing before they're called, go supervise him as he fixes the wreck, and then they go about doing their other things. So it's not just NPCs going about having their own kind of tailored behaviors, but also the crosstalk between them, which makes the Living Idris more living.
Which is also the reason why the crew jumped from about 36 to 80.
Yes, yeah. So that's a good one, actually. Like, so I'm not sure when it was that they mentioned that it was like only a small crew, but we only ever saw, and this is a really good time to talk about it because check that out. That's them showing everything off there. But like, they started off with a smaller crew in the Morrow tour. You didn't really get much of a feel from it. But I mean, like, if you see this picture here, basically like that's what they had at the beginning. Maybe Morrow Tour 2015, that's the amount of crew that they had with the seniors in the back and the auxiliary in the front. And then now look at it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. If this was a show, you could probably get away with the before picture. Right. And have a lot of things just happen in the background because you expect it to happen.
Yeah.
But with a game with full exploration, you need to fill all those roles with actual people. Like in Star Trek, for instance, The Next Generation, just how many crew members were actually present on the show altogether?
They did an okay job in Star Trek of, at least when they're going through corridors, show just random red shirts.
Just random extras. Yeah. But it's still not the several hundred people that actually...
That was supposed to be,
Yeah, supposed to be there. Yeah, exactly. So like I said, if there's ever a movie or a TV show based on Squadron 42, yeah, sure, just the key people, but you don't really need... Unless, as we have speculated, the janitor will have a bigger role. But usually you would not show the janitor mopping the floor.
Yeah. But what I liked about this picture, though, is the fact that, like, it's not just, oh, so we started with 36, and here are just, like, now there's a total of 81 models, and these are just random models. But if you look, like, that third row, you can see that those are all different colored NPCs that, for the flight deck, like, I say third row, it's either third row from the front or the back. It's the exact same. The middle row.
Yes.
They're all like in those bright flight suits, and we saw them doing those actions and stuff and looking super immersive doing so. But like, I also see, I also see second from the front. I mean, those three in white, which I'm guessing are the med crew, and then I mean, you can probably like guess all these guys' roles just based on their uniforms right now. I'm sure there must be.
You got the Marines with the I don't know, it's a 5-point cap, whatever it's called. The flat cap on the top. Those are the actual Marines, and then you have the bridge crew in their really smart, like dark blue and grayish green outfits.
Looking at it though, I mean, like, even though like before and after, of course, there's a massive difference in numbers. I can still see that that first two rows are the exact same NPCs, and then everything afterwards are the additional characters, and they really only, it's after that last character, it's flight deck stuff, right? And then it looks like it's medical, the janitors, and then it just has a whole bunch of random gray shirts as well. So I'm thinking that even though they decided to add more characters to the Idris, it hasn't necessarily like changed their plans or like stretched out that scope or more than it was before. It's just like, this is just to add more and make it more immersive without having to say, hey, okay, now you have to wait until 2025 to get the game. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Although it has probably increased the amount of mocap they had to do.
Oh, definitely.
And that we didn't get to. I'm pretty sure they didn't even announce it, that they had to do that much more mocap, which is also the reason, probably why the development has not progressed as quickly as we had hoped, because they had to go back and re-add all of those people, and they're still not done with the AI, even though progress is doing great.
So they're showing off this tech right now up there.
The point of interest thing.
So I forget what they call it. They always have these weird acronyms and stuff that always end up being AS, but quite literally ASS twice for two different things. But I didn't mean to do that pun either, but
AS is something else.
Yeah. However, that same system is also going to be for when you're talking with NPC and interacting with them, so that when an NPC sees you looking at something, then the NPC will go, oh, you're looking at that, are you? Oh, you're looking at, and I think that's pretty cool too. I'm not really sure how that
right. So you don't need to walk up to something and hit it, like use, and then you would get information from it.
Yeah, I wonder how specific it'll be. I mean, like with games,
and I wonder how often it would come around. Trigger. Like if you go in tomorrow's it's not office, like the main engineering, engine bay, like every day, and you keep looking at the items, will he keep prattling on about what all the things do, or will they do a bit of logic so prompts don't repeat themselves quite often, like lieutenant.
They actually bring that up with the whole lieutenant thing.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're self-aware with that, and that's kind of the beauty of open development. Otherwise, it would be a case of arrow in the knee, wouldn't it? Where like
exactly,
which in and of itself is like memes are memes for and they're nice, but
well, we'll just have to look elsewhere for memes, like Captain White telling you to go take a fucking shower because you stink.
I'm glad that they brought that in, and that was a line that they didn't actually show us in the vertical slice. So it must be specific to you maybe playing the game earlier and not taking a shower, and so it like keeps that in mind. And I wouldn't be too surprised if there was some kind of like behind the scenes back end kind of smellometer, and like as you play the game, it goes higher. You know, like
well, there will be mirrors, and maybe your reflection will start to resemble Charlie Brown. Not Charlie Brown, but was the other dude that didn't wash and had like these lines coming from him and flies going around?
He's a character in Charlie Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Well, you would need some way to find this out, because you don't have a nose. I mean, smell-o-vision was something they tried several times, like in cinemas decades ago, but it's gone. It's not made it into video games.
Scratch and sniff. It's
Scratch
the way
and
forward.
sniff. Yeah, maybe like an add-on for the Oculus Rift or the Vive.
There was a company 3 or 4 years ago now, and their whole shtick was, we're an add-on for your VR headset that does the smell for you. And it had like these 3 like fragrance things, and you unscrew them, and so when you smell feet, you smell feet. But I'm not sure where they've gone with that, or if
right.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying, maybe a good technique would be like when you get up, or whenever you enter. When you get up, you go into the bathroom or the showers, and whenever you go into the bathroom and showers, there would be some internal monologue. Maybe I could use a shower. I do feel a bit whiffy or something like that.
Maybe. I mean, like that'd be a nice subtle way, because we already have that weird and quite personally to me, obnoxious inner thought system, right? Like where it's like and I was gonna do it, but I've decided not to anymore.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
God damn it. But yeah, we something like a meter, like a hunger meter, a thirst meter, or a smellometer, is not really something that would.
It works well in The Sims.
But this isn't The Sims. This is a much bigger simulation than The Sims.
Well, if it's a much bigger simulator than The Sims, then why does The Sims have it?
Shush. No, but I don't think it would fit inside Star Citizen. Well, of course it wouldn't fit.
It'd be odd. I agree. Yeah. So Living Idris. I mean, so 81 crew. Obviously, that's not players. That's not Star Citizen. I mean, like I think it's I was gonna say white paper isn't the white. The ship matrix is still correct in saying that skeleton crew on an Idris is still 5, maximum crew is still like 15 or something players, and then you would then like have all these NPCs to then take these other positions and such.
Right. Yeah. The chief engineer, the captain, the pilot, the comms officer, people like that would be the players, and a maximum 15 of those, and then you would have subordinates that would follow your commands.
Yeah.
I'd also be interesting to see the way you would be able to issue those commands to your subordinates. Like the computer tells you, okay, this component needs replacing. But you're not going to do it yourself. You're going to get one of the yokels to do it, or one of your minions.
Right.
I'm just, yeah. How do you tell that to them? Like, would it become an option in your conversation wheel? Or would you need to go via mobiGlass and delegate roles?
There's this thing called COC, or chain of command, right? I mean, like the captain of a cruise liner isn't gonna go and like personally dial like the janitor to clean up somebody's room. So I think a lot of stuff will be delegated for sure from one NPC to another, and you won't have to worry about it. So they wouldn't even have to give you the options to worry about it, because there's no point. What I think? I'll pose it a different way. So they've shown us the Living Idris, and they've shown us the NPC crew living on the Living Idris. First of all, do you think that this whole kind of like, again, I'll say it again, Living Idris kind of mechanic will be transposed to Star Citizen, so that when you're playing the game, you will have this many NPCs on your ship, maybe without the dialogue or whatever. But do you think that we'll still have that? On top of that, do you think that that'll also be given to all the other ships out there as well? Look at things like the Caterpillar, for instance. The Caterpillar has like 6 beds on it if you include the command module. It has like living quarters for like a small school, that kind of thing. Like it's got so much stuff for you to fill. It's got so much stuff for you to fill with characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but most of those containers are cargo, meant to be for cargo.
Yeah.
But there, even if you're not counting all those modular pieces, there's still a lot of room.
There's still
in the
so much
Caterpillar.
room. Exactly.
Yeah, because you have the tractor beam station, you have the engineering station, you have the pilot. You have the seat behind the pilot, and you have 2 extra seats in the cockpit.
You also have the data room. You also have the quantum drive room. You have the quantum charting room as well, and the fact that there's there's a ladder that takes you between the engineering room and those ones as well. So I mean, and the server room as well. So I think the Caterpillar can do data running. So that's why there's a server room there. So
possible. Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure it is, because a few years ago. Was it a few years ago or was it last year? Disco Lando said, it's either last year or the year before. Disco Lando said, yeah, the Caterpillar has one more function that we haven't spoken about yet. They never mentioned what it was, but it has a server room, so I'm gonna guess it's data running.
Could be, or maybe not actually data running, but hacking. Like,
do you think that a freight ship would have something specifically for hacking?
Possibly not. No, but you're right. Yeah, could be that it's just yeah. And then you have the Starfarer that is just huge on the inside. It's much bigger.
Yeah.
That is basically like a baby Idris.
That's true. I mean, like the Starfarer, looking at it, right? It kind of needs to have the same kind of amount of NPCs in it to make it feel habitable, like Living Idris style. But something like the Caterpillar might not necessarily need that much. The Freelancer most definitely not. You know, the Constellation most definitely not either, because you have the 3 people.
Constellation, I'd say 3-4 maximum.
Yeah. So Constellation, 3 on the front seats. Then you have the 2 turrets, so that's 5. Then you have the 1 guy who, or possibly you don't need him, but possibly you do, just floating around in case you want to use the Merlin. And then you have like that weird station for engineering that you can't access yet. So I mean, like, I don't think
but
that.
Then again, you only have 4 rooms and 4 escape pods. So I think in a Constellation and a Freelancer, 4 people. So I think a lot of people would have to multitask.
Yeah.
Like, sure, 3 people can sit in the front in the seats, but I think that at least one of those people will have to man the turret.
Yeah, I suppose
if they're needed.
I suppose if you don't have multitasking, you won't have fun, because it's the whole ideology behind the is it the Terrapin that has 2 seats, but they're like if you roll with 2 people, that second guy is just gonna be sitting there with his on his hands, twiddling his thumbs, because like there's nothing to do until there is something to do, and in that time there is literally nothing for him to do. So it makes sense. Yeah.
But the bigger ships, like the Starfarer, it has 6 bunks, I think, plus the captain's quarters.
Not bunks, but just beds.
Bunks, beds. Yeah, beds.
Yeah.
And a mess hall, which the Constellation doesn't have. Well, it has a table. Doesn't really count.
I think the Starfarer also has 8 escape pods in the engineering floor, and then it has like 6 in the lower floor. So
they need more beds, unless everybody's hot bunking.
I guess it must be a hot bunking situation kind of deal.
But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of NPCs, I think, on these ships, and if you don't hire them, you're gonna be stretched very thin with all the multitasking you're gonna be. There will be a sweet spot between not, you know, just doing the one thing in your chair all the time and then, you know, running around all over the ship doing everything. So and that's probably going to be up to the players to find.
I agree. I
I
don't
like
think
it.
Yeah, so do I. I don't think there's much else really to. Oh, apart from this, this is just about Squadron 42, and this is about how characters will interact with you depending on how you've treated them in the past, and if you give them souvenirs from your missions and such. And that's Morrow giving the biggest stink eye ever. He's so cheery. It looks like you stepped on his cat twice. I mean, ran over his cat twice even. It's it's really cool. A nice little touch.
Right. Whenever I play these things, and I have the option to interact with other people, I do always, you know, default to my default alignment, which is chaotic good. So, I'm not a bastard, but I am very sarcastic about it. So that's the sort of thing. So I may rub some people the wrong way, but I think with a lot of people, I would actually get along with fine. Hello, intro.
You'd get along fine, he said.
Yes. Giving Myre full reins is not maybe the smartest idea.
I'm making it work, kind of.
Yeah. Push all the buttons.
But yes.
But
yes, I think.
And it was something I actually also wanted to touch upon, but I had no idea how to segue into it. Was have you started playing a new game that came out, Kingdom Come Deliverance?
I haven't. I mean, like, I looked at it. It looks really interesting. It's basically the sister game to Star Citizen. They started development at pretty much the same time, or at least funding for it.
Announced in 2009.
Right.
Company Warhorse Games was established in 2012. And they had one Czech billionaire doing all the funding, and with also a bit of crowdfunding on the side just to gauge the interest.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a look at it. I haven't played it myself because everyone else is playing it, so I'm like, I'll play it later. You know.
Yeah, but you can tell that, you know, a game that's out already, you can tell that the assets aren't nearly as polished as they are shaping up to be in Star Citizen and Squadron 42.
Oh yeah, I feel like the scope is so different with that game as well.
Yeah, it's basically in Bohemia, like in medieval Bohemia. So it's not planet size, but it's still, from what I've seen, because I haven't played it either. I've just been watching another person play it.
Yeah,
it's still, for who you are and the means at your disposal, it's still quite expansive. But you got stuff like the animations that all seem keyframed. There's no motion capture, even though these faces are scanned. But then for conversations, only the mouth moves.
Right. I mean, I guess it goes to show just the scope that they're trying to go with CIG and Star Citizen and Squadron 42, and why it's not out yet, and why Kingdom Come Deliverance is. And why Kingdom Come Deliverance on release has the same like CPU affinity issues that Star Citizen is plagued with and such, and they still haven't fixed.
Does it? I haven't really.
I haven't played, but I've read about it. You know, like
okay.
Yeah. So you know, like yeah, it looks interesting, but for me, I'll try that game later. You know, like once they've done some fixes.
It kind of has the same sort of. It grounds you into the same sort of character as Squadron 42 seems to be. You're not the chosen one.
You're not the chosen one. Yeah, I don't. With Kingdom Come, it's like you are literally just some peasant boy and doing peasant boy things.
Well, you do kind of rise in ranks from
as you do,
as you were supposed to do. I mean, it wouldn't be any sort of game if you just continued to be a blacksmith's apprentice and keep making swords and armor for the entire duration of the game.
Are you kidding me? I bought a game on the DS which was just that, but it was a comedy game kind of deal. It's like it was like turning RPGs on its head, and it was like, yes, the evil demon king has come to town, but you are the blacksmith, and you are making everybody's weapons, and you.
There is a game on PC that's is called, I think it's called My Little Workshop.
Okay.
Or My Blacksmith Workshop. You are a blacksmith,
Right?
And traveling heroes walk into your shop and order weapons, and then you have to order or mine the ores, and then use the furnace and attach the guards and the hilts and everything. And it's,
I think I'd love to see more games like that. That's why all these VR MMOs that are coming out I find really interesting. Like there's a game called Orbis that just came out, and even though it's very, very, very much early access, and it's very, very, very much the first of its kind VR MMO, it's really fun to make potions and stuff, because like it's very tactile. It's not just like you open up an inventory thing. You have to pick up the ingredients, put them down, and there's timing involved and such. And I feel like the future of VR MMOs is, random segue there, but the future of VR MMOs is looking really awesome. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that concludes our discussion for Squadron 42 until the next big nugget. I think so. What else happened last week? I think the Vulcan got announced.
Oh yeah,
but I feel like that is probably going to there's so much to talk about with that specific gameplay loop that it might necessitate an entire podcast just for that. So I think we'll see you guys in a fortnight for that.
Yep.
That wasn't closing. That's your job.
Before we go, don't forget to click this link to enter the giveaway for the Tumbril Cyclone RN with LTI. The giveaway will be going until the end of March, and we will be announcing the winner in the first show in April. So please do get involved in that. It's our very first giveaway on Fortnightly Frontier, and it is to commemorate the 100th episode of Fortnightly Frontier, which happened last week. So go check that one out as well. But yes, a bit shorter episode this time around because, well, development for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen isn't as action-packed anymore, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
with their rigid release schedule that they're sticking to.
Yeah, how long did we go for? I mean, like what, 30, 40
about
minutes?
35, 40 minutes, something like that.
That was our average back in the day. 42 minutes was long. 42 minutes was long.
You should see Fortnightly Frontier before your time. We did 10, 15-minute episodes because we had even less to talk about. And we weren't as good at conversing and getting our point across.
Oh, thank you very much.
But yes, I have been Darjanator. Over there has been Myre. This has been an episode about Squadron 42, which is a game I'm probably even more excited about than Star Citizen. And yeah, I guess we'll see you.
We'll see you in the verse.